Welcome to the Battle of Ohio podcast, where we follow the revival of the historic rivalry between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns.
This is the predictions episode for the divisional round. We're going to go ahead and get into all we got is 4 games to talk about. So might be a little bit more in depth this week because we don't have as many videos to talk about, or we don't have as many games to talk about, but at the same time, probably still end up maybe being a little shorter. I don't know. We'll see how it works out after the editing's all done and after we're done talking. But let's go ahead and get started in these games. So, interestingly enough, both AFC games feature an AFC North team, which I think that's the first time that's happened in a while.
Yeah, pretty cool.
But we can, I guess, let's go ahead and start with the NFC then. In that case, You've got the first game that we need to talk about. You've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their third match of the season against the New Orleans Saints. Why don't you tell me what you think is going to happen, Thomas?
Let me be neat like Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback all the time. I think Tom Brady is, when it comes out to the wire, Tom Brady always performed. Even when he lost to the Eagles in the Super Bowl, Tom Brady had 500 yards. Cannot sleep on Tom Brady ever. But this game is going to be fun. Just the history and the legacy of this game. I'm going with Drew Brees this game. Not because of Drew Brees, but because of Alvin Kamara. Now I know the Buccaneers have a lot of weapons this game. I know that defense is solid, but that Saints team is so organized. They're so neat. They run such clean offense. Top to bottom good, so many weapons. Mike Thomas, Taysom Hill, Drew Brees, Alvin Kamara. Man, secondary, that defense. I'm going to Saints. Saints is the reason why they beat them. I know it's really hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, but I just think the Saints has got the Buccaneers number this year.
Right. So part of me wants to pick the Saints. Part of me wants to pick the Buccaneers. I'll be honest. In general, there are a couple of rules I generally try to stick to when I do these games. Right now, I got 2 contradicting rules. One rule that I guess I really haven't had to bother with, but I mean, that's pretty much my philosophy on things. If a team gets blown out by another team twice, don't bet on them to win the third time.
It's really hard. It's really hard to be a team 3 times. It is really freaking hard to be a team 3 times. That's probably one of the hardest things to do in the NFL.
That is true. The other rule I don't want to. So that's why on one level I kind of lean Saints. I'm actually really not sure what I'm going to pick right now, but part of me wants to lean Saints because they've already blown out the Buccaneers twice. Those weren't even good games. But the other rule that I tend to kind of lean toward when I want to break ties on games that I'm picking is who's playing better football right now. And I think without a doubt in my mind, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are playing better football than the New Orleans Saints have been playing lately. Now it is Drew Brees' last hurrah, so maybe that might be enough to get them over the hump from a motivational perspective. And the Saints have been pretty dominant over the Buccaneers this year, but I don't know. I think I'm going to take a page out of something that you said, which is don't count out Tom Brady, and I'm not going to count out Tom Brady until he's out. So I'm going to pick the Buccaneers here.
By the way, I looked it up. Since 1950, it only happened 17 times that a team has beat another team 3 times in one season. Do you want to guess any of those matchups since 1952? Or 1950? Yeah. 1950. You're going to guess one?
Is one of them the Bengals and Steelers? I don't think it is.
No, actually.
Yeah, because I think when the Bengals have only played the Steelers 3 times in a season twice, and that was in 2005 and 2015. In 2005, we swept them in the regular season, and then they hurt Carson Palmer, and then we lost the wild card game. I believe I could be wrong, but I think we swept them in 2015. If we didn't, no, we didn't because Andy Dalton got hurt in that second game. So we split with them in 2015. So yeah, that would be right. So who did then, Thomas?
Okay, well the Browns are actually on this list 3 times.
Wow.
I go through the list for you. First one, 1952, Detroit Lions over the Rams. They beat the Rams 3 times. The Los Angeles Rams 3 times in 1952. 1958, the New York Giants beat the Cleveland Browns 3 times. It's crazy because that's the 1958 Browns. Bruh. 1964, Buffalo Bills beat the San Diego Chargers 3 times. The 1965 Green Bay Packers beat the Baltimore Colts 3 times in the season. Because the Colts used to beat in Baltimore, you know the history of that. And then it wasn't until 1982 that this happened again. The Miami Dolphins in 1982 beat the New York Jets. And it's also noteworthy that this is a shortened season in 1982, and they still managed to beat them 3 times. Wow. Jets, Jets, 1982. 1986, New York Giants beat the Washington Redskins, or football team they're now known as, 3 times. 1991, Kansas City Chiefs beat the Los Angeles Raiders. Keep on forgetting they play in Los Angeles too. 3 times. 1993, the Los Angeles Raiders beat the Denver Broncos. That's so weird to say. Beat the Denver Broncos 3 times. 1994, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Browns 3 times. That was Bill Belichick's Cleveland Browns, by the way. 1997, New England Patriots beat the Miami Dolphins 3 times. In that same year, the Packers beat the Buccaneers 3 times. That's weird because I didn't know they was in the same division. Maybe I need to check the source on that one. That's weird. I don't know how that would happen.
Wait, the Packers and the Buccaneers?
Yeah.
Well, that was before realignment, so.
Oh, okay, I got you. Okay, that's probably why that's still.
What was this, 1997?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that might have been back when that division was known as the NFC Central, kind of like our division used to be the AFC Central.
Yeah.
And I believe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were in that division.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were. It was the Packers, Lions, Vikings, Bears, and Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Kind of like how the Jaguars used to be in our division.
By the way, let me say this. This list has been updated, and this list is from 2015 that I'm looking at. So I need to find an updated list. But let me continue from, because I don't feel like going through all of them. This is just a quick search. 1999, the Tennessee Titans beat the Jaguars 3 times. 2000, New York Giants beat the Philadelphia Eagles 3 times. 2002, the Steelers beat the Browns 3 times again. The whole jokes. 2004, St. Louis Rams played in St. Louis, Seattle 3 times. St. Louis been all over the place, man. Cleveland, Los Angeles, St. Louis, Los Angeles. Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Ravens 3 times in 2008, and the Cowboys beat the Eagles 3 times in 2009. And there's probably a couple more times, but I haven't looked at it.
Are you saying the last time it happened was 2009?
I don't think this list is old, so it might happen again. Okay.
Well, if that list is up to date, then it sounds like it's due to happen again.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that there's because that list is from 2015. That list is old. According to ESPN, it happened 20 times in a minor error. So we just haven't seen the 3rd time yet. So who knows? It's hard. It's hard. It doesn't happen every year, obviously. It doesn't happen every year.
Nope. But based on that list you just gave me, it sounds like it's due to happen again. I'm not changing my pick, though. I'm still picking the Buccaneers because I'm not going to pick against Tom Brady. And I feel like the Buccaneers are playing better football than the Saints are right now. I feel like the Saints are kind of like I feel like the Saints are kind of like limping their way into the postseason, and the Buccaneers are kind of riding a hot streak. So, I mean, like everybody, talked up that Washington football team defense, like they were the key to Washington potentially winning that game, and Tampa still dropped 20 or 30. Tampa still dropped 31 on them.
Yeah, but they didn't win that game as handily as they could have, though. So like they kind of, I won't say they limped through that game, but they could have won that game a little more handily, though.
Well, maybe, but at the same time, like again, this is a Washington defense that everybody's been talking up this year, and like I said, that was the unit that people were saying that might give Washington a chance to pull off the upset. So could Tampa have played better? Maybe, but I don't know. I feel like going up against the Saints, if the Buccaneers play like they're capable of playing, the way they have been playing lately, and then the Saints don't like go ham or anything like that, I think like I said, I think the Buccaneers have a good chance to win this game. So the next game we got to talk about is the Green Bay Packers hosting the Los Angeles Rams. So you got the number 1 seed and number 6 seed. By the way, interesting note, both the AFC and the NFC have wild card teams represented in both games. So the Ravens and the Browns in the AFC, and the Buccaneers and the Rams in the NFC. Both in both cases, actually, weirdly enough, both in both the AFC and the NFC last week, both the 5 and the 6 seed won and the 7 seed lost. So interesting mirror image there. But anyway, who do you think is going to win between the Packers and the Rams, Thomas?
Packers. One word, one phrase, and one phrase on Aaron freaking Rodgers.
Yeah.
You finally got a coach. He's doing a great job with him, and Aaron Rodgers is unessentially just balling. You just can't ignore what Aaron Rodgers is doing. Shout out to that dude. Beast.
Agreed. And I feel weird picking against the Rams because the whole reason I picked against the Rams last week was it ended up being an erroneous pick because I thought that the Rams for sure didn't have a chance against the
Me too.
didn't have a chance against the Seahawks. And then they came out and that Rams defense just absolutely balled out. Jalen Ramsey, friggin' Aaron Donald, man, like that. Like Brandon Staley's got something good going there in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Now, granted, that's a unit that was built up by Wade Phillips, but still, point being that this Rams defense is dangerous. But once again, I'll say the same thing I said last week, in that I just don't trust the Rams offense. And I do trust the Packers offense. The Packers defense can be a little suspect, but I think the main thing for them is, they're pretty susceptible to good run games. Well, actually, on that note, they're susceptible to good. They make good run games look great, although they actually do halfway decently against great run games. It's really weird. So maybe actually, maybe Cam Akers might have another really good game this week. I don't know.
Cam Akers is a beast, man. Cam Akers is a beast.
Cam Akers is a lot better than I think a lot of people, including me, by the way, give him credit for.
I tried to give him a fantasy, and then I didn't get him. I was pretty mad.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to agree with you on this one. I'm going to pick the Packers. But I'm not nearly as confident on that as I should be, because I'm picking the Packers because the Packers are really good, right? It seems silly to pick against the Packers, right?
Yeah.
But I'm a little apprehensive just because that Rams team impressed me last week.
Yeah.
So
I agree. This is probably the game that I'm probably least interested at the 4 games this weekend. I
don't think there's a game I'm not interested in this. I mean, I agree with you.
I'm not saying I'm not interested. I'm not saying I'm not interested. I'm saying out of the 4 is one I'm probably least interested in.
Well, one of the games involves Tom Brady and Drew Brees, like Tom Brady versus.
Yeah, I know
Drew
you
Brees.
Can't top that. You can't. I'm almost more interested in that game than my own. Never mind, I can say that.
You got 4 games this weekend. One game features Tom Brady and Drew Brees. The other 2 games feature AFC North teams. So of course this is the least interesting of the 4. Like I mean, that's not fair competition.
But I mean, this game is like. This game is good though. This game's the only game that doesn't have underlying storylines between them, I guess. Between 2 teams. That's why, it's like, But I like what the Rams are doing. I'm not saying the Rams are chumps. Obviously I wouldn't be surprised if any one of these games go either way. And this is one of those games I wouldn't be surprised if Los Angeles win. Mainly because we talked about how greatly coached the Rams are. You say that they got the best coach in that division. I am starting to believe you. Yeah, no, they're just a very great coach team. Just a well organized team, just a very well run team.
Yeah, so are the Packers though. Like Matt LaFleur is no slouch.
Yeah, I know. It's like I said, I want to stick by my pick, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Packers win.
Yep. Fair enough. All right, so
I mean, the Rams win. I'm picking the Packers, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams.
I'm definitely picking the Packers.
Yeah.
Let's move along to the AFC though, and this is definitely going to be like as interesting as I feel the NFC games are. I think the AFC games are definitely worth talking about, at least from our perspectives here. So let's talk about. Let's save the best for last.
Okay.
So first, let's talk about the Ravens and the Bills.
Okay.
Although actually, in terms of being a competitive game, it's much more likely that this game ends up being the more interesting of the 2. But I mean, you never know with the Browns. But anyway, let's talk about the Ravens and Bills first.
Okay.
So you've got how do I put this? You've got 2 teams with very dynamic offenses that revolve around some aspect of the running game pretty heavily. I think the main difference being that the Bills are a little bit better balanced because Josh Allen this year has found his arm, and he's also started. He's been making better decisions too. Actually, to be completely honest with you, I think Brian Daboll dumbed that offense down for Josh Allen a little bit. I think he simplified it, and I think that's part of why Josh Allen's making less mistakes because it's a little easier for him this year. And then you got the Ravens, who, very heavily lean on their running game, and Lamar Jackson can be about as suspect in the passing game as Josh Allen, but there are also times when he can be as good in the passing game as Josh Allen. So really, you've got 2 very evenly matched teams here, at least from an offensive perspective, and maybe from a defensive perspective too. But what do you think, Thomas? Who do you think is going to win?
I'm going with the Ravens. I think the Ravens are a better team. Well, no, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say they're a better team. I just think that they're just going to be a better team this day. I think the Ravens match up well against Buffalo. I think the Ravens have the defense to stop or to neutralize, at least slow down Josh Allen. Excuse me, I know Josh Allen has been playing like the best quarterback in that draft class. Like I said, it's the only game that doesn't have any underlying storyline is the Rams Packers game, because this game you have 2 quarterbacks who are in the same draft class, and they think that about each other. They want to be better than each other. They want to be the best quarterback in the draft class. So they probably take this game personal. I think that Lamar Jackson definitely want to hand it to Josh Allen as much as Josh Allen want to hand it to Lamar Jackson. But when I look at that secondary for Baltimore, I look at how Lamar Jackson's playing. And let me say this about Lamar Jackson, man. If you want to win, you got to stop. You got to play like Lamar Jackson. Like your coach said, you got to play like Lamar Jackson. You shouldn't try to change yourself, because when Lamar Jackson tried to change himself, when he tried to become more of a pocket passer, when he tried to reform himself like different form in the playoffs, he lose games. But when he tries to be himself, when he just try to win games, when he try to improv, like Lamar Jackson's at his best when he gets in a situation where he got to think on the spot. And he always make the right decision when he thinks on the spot because he's so quick, he's so fast, he's so strong. He has different ways to beat you. Lamar Jackson, just play the game, man. And I think he will. I think Lamar Jackson is gonna I think Lamar Jackson can handle the Buffalo Bills. I think he'll get a little more opportunity. I think he's gonna overcome some of the things that everybody's been saying that he can't overcome. So I'm going to Ravens.
So real quick, I want to piggyback off of a point that you made about the quarterbacks. In the AFC in particular, you've got Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, all in like three of the four quarterbacks left in the conference right now are all from that draft class.
Yeah.
And then, you've got Patrick Mahomes, who's also super young and super dynamic and super wow kind of quarterback. And then on the NFC, you got Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers. Now, Aaron Rodgers isn't nearly as old as those other two, but he's still definitely one of the older quarterbacks in the league. And then, the one outlier there is Jared Goff, who's like the polar opposite of Patrick Mahomes as far as dynamicism goes.
Mm-hmm.
So just optically for a second, how the quarterbacks for the AFC look so much different from the quarterbacks from the NFC. It's wow, it's impressive. It's like on one side you got the old school, and then the one quarterback who's not old kind of has an old school kind of vibe to him. And then on the other side, you got super young, super dynamic, super interesting kind of quarterback play.
Yeah.
So anyway, as far as the Ravens and Bills go, I'm picking the Bills because I think I disagree with you about how well the Ravens match up against the Bills. I don't think that they match up that well. I think they match up pretty well, and I do think there's definitely, I think the Ravens secondary can definitely do some damage against that Bills passing attack, but I don't think it's going to be enough to completely shut down the Bills passing attack. Because like I said, when you shut down Stephon Diggs, that's great, but there's other guys. That's part of why Stephon Diggs is so dominant there in Buffalo is because Josh Allen can do whatever he wants with it, really. And so you've got to focus on more than just shutting Stephon Diggs down. And when you do that, boom, suddenly Stephon Diggs burns you for like 10 billion yards.
Yeah, he's a good receiver. He's having a great year, man.
I think the Ravens have a very good defense, but I think it's going to take probably the best defense in the league to take down this Bills team right now. If not the best, if not the best defense in the league, it's going to take a pretty good. It's going to take a really good defense combined with massive offensive firepower. So the only teams in the NFL I think right now that are going to take down the Bills is I think the Browns on their best day could beat the Bills, but that's definitely not a guarantee. I think the Chiefs would beat the Bills. I think that might be it. Maybe the Packers, depending on how the defense plays. I think out of all the teams left in the division, all the teams left in the playoffs, other than the Rams, I think the Rams would be the worst matchup against the Bills in the playoffs, but I think the Ravens are the second worst matchup for with the Bills. So I think Josh Allen is going to. I don't know if it's going to be a close game or a blowout. I don't know exactly what we're looking at here, but at the end of the day, I think Josh Allen finds a way to get it done and gets himself to a conference championship.
Okay.
Yep. So, final game to talk about. I'll go first on this one because this is your game, and we want to hear. We want to save the best opinion for last. But I'm just gonna be honest with you here. Like I said on the main podcast, I think that the Browns have a very clear path to victory against the Chiefs. However, I don't think that it's a likely path. I don't think it's likely to happen. I think that I think the Browns very well could beat the Chiefs, but I don't think they will. I think the Chiefs are just way too balanced and way too overmatched. I don't know if anybody's going to beat the Chiefs, to be quite honest with you. I think I think the wild card round was a nice sentiment. Thank you for beating the Steelers. Thank you. That was awesome to watch. The entire NFL thanks you for just that spectacle alone, whether you hate the Steelers or not. That was awesome to watch. And that was cool and all, but it's the like just unfortunately this is I think the one team in the AFC that the Browns aren't going to beat. And I also said that I don't think the Browns would beat the Bills, but I think the Browns would. I think the Browns would do better against the Bills than the Ravens are going to do. But the Chiefs, no, I'm sorry, I don't think so. I think the Chiefs are going to win this game. I think Patrick Mahomes. I don't think the Browns defense is going to do enough against Patrick Mahomes to really slow him down. And I mean, you need. To win this game, like I said, I think you need Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt both on their best day. And I think you already got the best out of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt this year. I don't think I think they've already peaked this year. And
Yeah.
So I'm not saying they're not going to be any good or anything like that. I just don't think you're going to get their very best, absolute best game this week. And I think that's ultimately going to be the downfall for the Browns.
Man, this is tough, man. Currently, the Browns are organizing a drive-through pep rally around the stadium where thousands of people are going to line up their cars. And I would, but I got to go out of town this weekend. They're lining up their cars to drive around the Brown Stadium to send the Browns off tomorrow. There are going to be thousands of people waiting at the airport to send the Browns off tomorrow to go play the Chiefs. Yeah. Man. I am a Browns fan. I'm a homer. So I'd be the first one to say I'm a homer. I don't know. It's so hard to pick against my boys because the one thing that this team have is that outside of just just like stuff that just outside talent, right? The thing, this team is so mentally tough. They're so ambitious. Odell Beckham said, "Don't be surprised when this team win this weekend." If anybody can drop a game plan to beat the Chiefs, it's probably Kevin Stefanski. Like you said, I think that Kareem Hunt is going to have a hell of a game. I think Kareem Hunt is going to have a very good game plan against his old team. I think Kareem Hunt is going to run all over them. I think Kareem Hunt has been thinking about this game for a very long time. I think Kareem Hunt has been thinking about. I think nothing will make Kareem Hunt happier than putting the Chiefs out of playoffs because I think Kareem Hunt feels that moment of sitting on his couch and watching the Chiefs be in the Super Bowl without him. I know he feels that. Man, any given Sunday, this guy at work told me. I told him there's no way the Browns are going to beat the Steelers. Or not Steelers. No way the Browns are going to beat the Chiefs. This guy's a Washington football team. He's not really a Browns fan at all. Don't really watch the Browns anymore. He stopped watching the Browns after they moved. So he told me, he said, any given Sunday, homie. Any given Sunday. So that made me think. The Chiefs haven't played their starters in 3 weeks. It was week 16 since the last time they played their starters. Week 17 happened, and a wild card playoff happened. The Browns, on the other hand, are coming off a very physical, very tough AFC North wild card round, and a very physical, very tough week 17 game. I think that quality of opponent doesn't matter. I think toughness matters. It's going to be a chilly game. It's going to be a cold game. It's not going to be warm in Kansas City. It's not going to be hot. So, Patrick Mahomes, he's going to be able to throw the ball, but the offense, maybe the chance the offense won't be as strong as you might think it will be during this game. There is a path for the Browns to win this game. There is a huge path. There is actually a bigger path than people give for the Browns to take this game. And I said that Myles Garrett got to have the best game of his life. I think that nobody in this world wants this more than Cleveland Browns. I know, we always measure how much the team won, but I think nobody wants this more than Cleveland Browns. If Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt have the type of game that they're capable of having, and I'm having reminiscence of how the 49ers, what they did last year and how they were able to rush their way to the Super Bowl. Man. You know what? We got a thing on this show called the Big Upset of the Week. I got to ride with my boys. I can't pick against my boys. Call me a homer, call me whatever it is. I haven't said before that I do not think the Browns could beat the Chiefs, but you know what, though? I think they could do it. I think they're getting their secondary back. I think that they could do it. Come on, Browns. Don't wait to strike. Don't say that this is not our year. You have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. You have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. You win 3 more games, you win the Super Bowl. Go do it this year. Go do it this year. Why can't we do it this year? We're here. What are we afraid of? Go get this W. Kyle, you're going to look at me crazy. Kyle, I already see your face right now. You look at me crazy. Go Browns. I'm going with the Browns. Oh, why'd I do that? Why'd I do that?
You know what all that just sounded like to me?
It sounded like a fan
what that all
homer.
just sounded to me like right now? It sounded to me like when I try to talk myself into thinking that the Bengals got a chance to win a game. That's what it sounded like.
Exactly.
So I am absolutely 100% sticking with the Chiefs.
I didn't convince myself, if I'm being honest. I didn't convince myself, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm going with the Browns only because I just can't bet against my team. That's it. That's all I got for you, man. That's all I got for you. It's been a good season. Go Browns. Win it, man. If y'all win this game, y'all could win the Super Bowl. Come on, Jesus. Come on, man. We can do this. 3 more wins. I just don't want this one. I want 3 more wins. Give me 3 more wins, Jesus. Okay. Get that off my chest.
Yeah, there we go. Light's a little bit better. Okay, so here is what we're going to do next. We're going to go through the rest of the playoffs like we did last week. Now, obviously, the differences in the conference games will be starkly different than they were last week. But actually, real quick, let me go ahead and talk about what our predictions were for the conference games last week because we went through the whole gamut. So, all right. So our predictions for the conference games last week is So Thomas, you had the Chiefs going up against the Browns in the conference game last week, right?
Yeah.
So fair enough. You definitely followed through with thinking that the Browns were going to win the divisional round. However, you also thought the Browns were going to be playing against the Ravens in the divisional round, and that did not end up happening. So I had the Chiefs playing the Bills in the conference game because I thought the Browns were going to play. I correctly predicted the Browns playing the Chiefs in the divisional round, and I made the same prediction last week that I made this week. By the way, I just want to point out you also picked the Chiefs to beat the Browns in the conference championship game last week.
Oh yeah, I know I did.
Something changed from last week to this week to make you think that even though you did think the Browns would beat the Steelers, now
it was how they beat the Steelers.
Well, that's fair. That is fair. That definitely that's part of why I think that there's a path to victory for you.
It was how they beat the Steelers. Like they didn't. Like I thought they were going to beat the Steelers in a close game. They that game wasn't close. I mean, it still was made it close to the end, but even like, but I don't like, you know, I mean, really, that game was over when Chubb broke that screen touchdown. That score should have been 48-29. The Browns pretty much led up at the very end of that game. The Steelers got a very late touchdown. The score should have been 29-48. The Browns just let the Steelers get a late touchdown.
Yep. So yeah, the other game, the other conference championship game that we had very different results for who we thought was going to be in the conference championship. So you thought that the Saints were going to play the Seahawks in the divisional round and that the Saints were going to beat the Seahawks. You had the Packers beating the Buccaneers in the divisional round. So you had the Saints and the Packers in the conference championship, and then the Packers winning that. So you had Chiefs-Packers Super Bowl and the Packers winning the Super Bowl. I had the Buccaneers and the Seahawks, completely different teams, in the NFC Championship, and then the Buccaneers winning that, going to the Super Bowl, and then beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, like I said last week, interesting that neither of us had the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl.
I thought they'd get the Super Bowl and lose to Aaron Rodgers, but you know, just that.
Well, fair enough. But anyway, so if the Ravens and you've got, wow, this would be good television right here. You've got the Browns and the Ravens playing each other in the conference championship.
You know what changed? By the way? You know what changed? Is that I realized, I think that Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson want to play each other again.
Wow.
I think they badly want to play each other again. I think they badly
I do too. That
want
doesn't
each other
necessarily
again.
mean they will, though.
It might happen. They
So,
both got Heismans.
In the
Heismans.
NFC Championship, you've got the Green Bay Packers hosting the New Orleans Saints. So if you had to project for next week who's going to win that game, the Packers and the Saints, who would you pick?
Packers.
Packers, okay. All right, so
I think the Packers are going to the Super Bowl. I stand by that.
If that was the matchup, I think I would also pick the Packers. I don't think that there's any doubt that the Packers are a better team than the Saints. B, I think Aaron Rodgers at this stage in his career is much better than Drew Brees. Actually, he might be all-time. I think he's all-time better than Drew Brees too.
Yeah.
So anyway, Ravens and Browns in the AFC Championship. If that happens, who would be your pick?
I think the Browns get the Ravens. We talk about teams beating teams 3 times. I don't think the Ravens can beat the Browns. I think if the Browns and the Ravens face each other, I think the Browns get them the third time. I think the Browns will badly want to see them again. A third time.
I fully agree with you. If the Browns somehow make it to the AFC Championship next week and they play the Ravens, Browns are going to the Super Bowl.
Boy.
I'll bet that right now. The problem is I don't think they're going to make it past the Chiefs, but if they play the Ravens, I agree with you. The Browns are going to the Super Bowl.
Okay. Kyle, you know what you just did, though? You just put the Browns in the Super Bowl in the same sentence.
No.
Yes, you did.
In the same sentence. But
I was saying,
based off of
not
your crazy ass scenario where the Browns beat the Chiefs.
No, but you you did it though. You did it though without blinking an eye. You put that into the universe.
Well,
just saying. So confirm.
So Thomas, are you gonna go full crazy on me here? And so you got you're picking the Packers to play the Browns in the Super Bowl.
That'd be a historic game, wouldn't it be? The 2 of the oldest franchises in the NFL playing each other in the Super Bowl. That should have been Super Bowl 1, honestly.
Two founding franchises of their original league. Actually, the Green Bay Packers, a founding member of the NFL, and the Cleveland Browns, a founding member of the AAFL or something like that. The AAFC, the All-American Football Conference.
Yeah, you know, this is how I feel about it. There's this guy I work with. He's a huge Packers fan, and he be talking shit about the Browns. I would love for the Browns to win, so we could just rub that Super Bowl win in his face. And he's probably gonna be like, "How many Super Bowls you got?" Like, it don't matter. We won the most recent one. Suck my Browns. Definitely keep it a PG.
Yeah.
But give me if the Browns play the Packers in the Super Bowl, man, they can't make it as easy for us, can they? Aaron Rodgers versus Baker Mayfield. Yeah, I know. Shoot. God dang, Aaron Rodgers versus Baker Mayfield in the Super Bowl. Oh man, that's man. If Aaron Rodgers played Baker Mayfield in the Super Bowl, as much as I love the Browns, I know we would have beat the Chiefs at the Chiefs, but the Super Bowl is still a whole nother animal no matter what, because there's so much you got to adjust to. If nobody on the Browns been there before. And Aaron Rodgers he won a Super Bowl before.
Yeah.
And I'd be hard pressed on betting against Aaron Rodgers. I'd be really hard pressed betting against Aaron Rodgers in that situation. Then again, the Browns beat the Chiefs, and they could beat anybody. Honestly, the Browns can beat the Chiefs in Kansas City, and they can beat anybody. And I put money if the Browns and the Chiefs play in the Super Bowl. I bet you money there'll be a lot of Browns fans in that stadium. There'll be a hell of a lot of Browns fans in that stadium.
Yeah.
I'll drive down to Tampa Bay. I won't go to the game, but I will drive down.
So who are you picking, Thomas?
Oh, Green Bay.
Okay. I was about to say, like, come on, man.
We'll see in 3 weeks if it happens, though. If it happens, oh boy, this podcast is gonna be so much fun.
It would be a fun podcast, I can tell you that right now. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about my conference championship picks. I got the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Buffalo Bills. And let's see. If you got the Bills and the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. Now, remember that when I picked last week, I had, I had the Chiefs and the Bills in the AFC Championship then as well. And I picked the Chiefs to win that game. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna go with my same pick from last week. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. They're just too damn good. Like, we'll see how they play the Browns this week. If they don't look like the team that really ought to be. First of all, let's say they don't beat the Browns, then. If they don't beat the Browns, then obviously, then this is a whole entirely different discussion. But if they do beat the Browns, but they don't look particularly great doing it, then, we'll see what happens from that point. But yeah, so I'm going to go with the Chiefs over the Bills in the AFC Championship. And then you've got the Buccaneers and the Packers playing in the NFC Championship, which I believe is what I had before anyway. Is that right?
Yeah. I believe so.
No, I had the Buccaneers and the Seahawks actually. Because I had the Buccaneers playing the Packers in the divisional.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had the so Buccaneers Packers. Let's be honest, Thomas. Am I crazy enough to think that Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to put the same hurting on the Green Bay Packers they did last time?
I mean,
yes, I am.
Not really. I don't think so. I think Tom Brady could. I think Tom Brady could legitimately win a Super Bowl with that team.
Yeah, well, I believe that the Green Bay Packers would lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think you got Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship, and as I said before last week, not in the AFC, in the Super Bowl, you got Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. And I said last week that the Buccaneers win that matchup. I'm going to double down this week and say that the Buccaneers will win the Super Bowl over the Kansas City Chiefs. And Tom Brady will once again prove that he is the greatest quarterback in NFL history, and it'll be very difficult to place, like one day if Patrick Mahomes is threatening his mantle, it will be very difficult to place Patrick Mahomes over him because Tom Brady beat him in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happens. Also, Tom Brady will have 7 rings at that point, and then the Pittsburgh Steelers can suck it because you don't even have more. When one player has as many Super Bowl rings as your entire franchise, you don't get to talk about how many damn rings you have anymore. Shut up. What have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately?
Right. So, anyway, that's it for predictions, guys.
That's what we should entitle this episode. What have you done for me lately? All right, yeah, let's wrap this up.
Yeah, that's it for predictions, guys. This is the divisional round, and me and Thomas had almost entirely different picks this week, different than last week where we picked 4 games the same and 2 games differently, and we ended up, interestingly enough, going 4-2 on the week, both of us. This week, almost all the games we're predicting are different. I got the Bills, Chiefs, Buccaneers, and Packers winning, and Thomas has the Ravens, Browns, Saints, and Packers winning.
Yep.
So
all right,
we'll see what happens after this, but we are guaranteed to have somebody in first place at the end of the divisional round. I'm not sure who it's going to be, but I don't think we can tie again if we're picking 3 or 4 games differently.
Yeah, so, we got to see who wins the jersey bet.
Are we doing a jersey bet?
Did you say that's what we're doing?
I mean, we can do that. We announced that on the show.
I'm
but,
sorry.
I mean, if you want to do a jersey bet, we can do a jersey bet. I'll buy you a Baker jersey. You buy me a Joe Burrow jersey.
I was fully ready for the jersey bet. The bet make a lot of sense.
Okay.
All right, do the jersey bet. All right, cool.
All right, cool. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Go check out the main podcast and let us know what your predictions are down in the comments, or just talk to us wherever you want. If you want to come on, hit me or Thomas up, and we'll get you on an episode. So thanks for listening, everybody. Peace.
Go Browns. All right.